Hey everybody, welcome to my survival world. Good to see you. This is Boomer, your host, and today we are taking a break from Slime Fun. I'm actually waiting for some questions to be answered from the dev on Galactifun. I hit a couple of snags and I want to make sure that I didn't screw up what I was working on. So before we finish that tutorial, I've decided to release what I do in survival. You know, I talk about going boomer a lot, and hopefully that's what you're going to see. There's no slime fun, there's no mods, there's no plugins. This is pure straight vanilla. And my goal in this world was to, or really is, I should say, to build something where I can go anywhere, do anything I want at any time, build every type of farm there is, harvest all the materials in any unique way I can possibly can. And so I've been playing in this for a couple of months. Now, this is not something that I'm going to do every day or every other day. This is not going to be like a Hermitcraft where you're seeing people put out 3 or 4 episodes a week sometimes. It might be 3 or 4 days between episodes. It might be a week, week and a half, depending on what the project is and how much of it I want to record or time-lapse. But I wanted to show you some of the things that I like to do when I'm not playing Slime Fun. And building some massive builds in survival, especially the grinding and really just seeing what can come together is some of the things I really enjoy doing. So let's kind of just start. I'll take you on a quick base tour here if I can remember how to hit F5 right. My iron golem farms, we've got a zombie up there who is going back and forth triggering my villagers. Matter of fact, we did name him after one of my viewers, Neon. That is you. You are the one who is aggravating my villagers beyond belief. And so he's helping produce my iron. And it pumps out about every 37 seconds. I get an iron golem at each side. They're far enough apart where they don't get triggered by the other village, so we're all good to go there. So initially this was going to be a circled area, and I was going to put I still am going to put my vanilla mob farm in the middle of this and then have some other stuff around it. And I decided to square it off with the exception of this corner because I've got a stairwell coming down right behind that wall. And I didn't want to move it. I just put too much work into it already. Decided to leave it. We'll go up there in just a little bit and I'll show you the other side. That's where the villager trading hall is. But let's kind of go through and I'll briefly explain what we've done. So this is the pattern that my stairwell coming down is. This one actually leads to an ancient city, and my first thought was I was going to make that where I was going to put my base, go through and clear everything out. I've started clearing out a lot of skulk sensors, a lot of catalysts. I've got a long way to go yet, but there will be something awesome down there. I've even been trying to find a way to create a farm for iron golems with the warden. Unfortunately, as you probably already know, there's no way for any other person or mob but the player to actually trigger the calling of the warden. So I've been playing around trying to find a way that I can trigger him and yet still be safe from him. So we're working on that yet. Granted, it's an active, it's not a passive farm. You'll have to be doing stuff to trigger him. But this will go down to my diamond mine. I do have another one that's temporary that I'm using, and then lapis will be off that direction as we get back up to, let's see, y equals about 16. My initial iron mine down there, I've got more set up, at least was going to, until I got my iron golems running, so probably not a big need yet. And then getting up to y equals 48 for my copper mines, that'll be the second one. We did go down kind of deep in this area. Unfortunately, it hit some pretty large water pockets, and so I've had to do some clearing. But one thing I did do, about halfway down this tunnel, I decided this was where I wanted to make my villager trading hall. And as you can see, we've got some strip birch, some kelp, 3 different, not blackstone, deep slate block variants. Got ourselves a quick 3x3 piston door. Whoa, it spanked me in the butt. Don't do that. So welcome to my villager trading hall. Now, the villagers in the middle will actually be coming out of here. Initially, I had rails going all the way around this entire thing so I could get my villagers in place. I had a nice little system set up. It actually still is, with the exception of the connectors. If I ever do need to bring a villager in here, I can just place blocks and rails and bring them all the way around. So let's say I've got a villager and I've traded with him for whatever reason, and now I don't need him or want him anymore. All I have to do is right click this note block. That will trigger the observer to fire a sticky piston. Underneath the workstation is an air gap, so actually the sticky piston will go through, grab the block the villager is on, and he'll fall to his death. And then I can click it one more time to put the block back, go back to my system, call another villager out. Once I've got all my trade set, then this entire thing in the middle will come out because it's a very big eyesore, and I haven't quite figured out a nice way to set it up to keep it up there permanently. So that will be coming out eventually. Now, we've got a couple of trades that we had marked just to get started. And we do have some farms built in here. So this one to the side, this is our carrot and potato farm. And we've kept the color theme, trying to match it as close as we could. Added just a little bit of lanterns and some floor lighting. And here's what we've done. We've simply set it up where villagers can toss food to the villager in the middle who theoretically is hungry. Now we've got a series of hoppers on either side, so you see all those hearts. That's actually, look at that, look at how many he's just tossing in there. That middle villager never gets fed. So this guy can actually be in heart mode, and this guy can actually be in heart mode, but they won't produce a baby because there's no beds, and he never actually gets fed. Same thing with these guys. And then what we've done on a top layer is there's a series of hoppers that will fall down, like you can see it right there. That hopper on the right, that my crossbow's on, crosshairs, that's it. I'm bringing them down. So these guys produce a pretty good amount. And then we also have a wheat and beetroot farm. And all those crops are coming out. They're being stored in chests right now. Eventually they're going to be stored in shulker boxes above the traders. That's the ultimate goal once we get to the end. This one's a little bit different. We have hopper mine carts underneath, so as the villagers farm and they leave the stuff on the ground, hopper mine carts come by, pick it up. There's another one at this level that gets the top layers, and the same thing over here for the beetroot. One thing that you do need to do, and I don't know, I haven't watched a whole lot of 119 tutorials because my farm designs have pretty much, for me at least, have always worked. When I use a slightly older design where the farmer can access their composter, they actually take the seeds out of their inventory, put them in a composter, create bone meal, and eventually once that first slot has no more seeds in it and they farm wheat, they can make bread and feed themselves, and it breaks the farms. And I made a report to Moyang about it, and they just said, well, you just got to change your farm design as long as he can't touch the composter. I'm like, all right. So I just use an iron trapdoor. You can use any trapdoor. It just makes it too short of a height for him to get through, but yet he believes he can actually path his way to the composter. And so he keeps the professional. Actually, I traded with him once too, but that way he keeps locked on his workstation. So the other farms, we're building 4 more at the same time on the back side. Let's see. Nope, left side. Sorry, that was the back side. Left side over here, we are adding, we're going to do, let's see, pumpkin and watermelon and sugarcane, and then kelp on this side. Well, when it's set up where I can use dried kelp blocks for fuel. So we haven't quite finished digging everything out yet, but that will be the next big farm that we're working on, at least down here. Let's continue the tour up. And like a lot of people do, right, your beginning base, you get things going that you obviously go back and tear down after the fact. Like just even how that design is, eventually either be a tripwire or a pressure plate, at least on the inside, so I don't have to push the button anymore. But we'll go up to the surface. I have a lot of cats, by the way. It's amazing. Oh boy, it's been a while since I've slept. Hopefully there's no phantoms up here. So like I do a lot in Slime Fun, I've said I build massive cactus farms. I mean 20 layers of 64 cactus so that I can harvest a ton of XP very quickly to unlock the guide quickly. In vanilla, I don't need as much. I need to be able to repair my tools. So I have a 7 or 8 high bamboo farm on both sides. So there's 30 plants on each side. There you go. Taking bamboo. And while it's not, I'm going to redo this a little bit. I'm actually going to move it underground. It's not super clean. But the bamboo harvest over there. and is brought over here, drops it into the hoppers, and he runs around and around. Once that hopper minecart is empty, that detector system over there will actually turn this rail back over to there. And it's not the cleanest build, but it works, it's functional. The challenge with bamboo is that it takes 4 bamboo to smelt any one item. So I want to actually extend this back a block and add a chest to store extra bamboo in case I'm too far away and the cactus keeps going, but this farm actually stops given where it's at. It's a chunk back, so I don't get the fuel and I run out. So while I'm up here, until this is moved underground, I want to be able to do that. And basic system, I don't know if Cubfan135 was the one who initially created this, but it's built off of his kelp farm. At least the redstone system is, and I've used it and modified it a little bit for myself as needed. We've got our basic furnace farm set up right for smelting. We've got our basic farming to get enough seeds to get those farmers going. We've got some sugar cane going. I've got a basic 10 or 12 sheep wool farm in here just to collect some basic stuff for carpets. We've got another portal over here. It's blocked off, so if a mob does come through, they don't sneak out. They're stuck in a very small area, and eventually they'll spawn. And like a lot of us do, we protect our most valuable asset in-game to beginning was my initial villagers. This was where I actually did manage to make a mending villager to get me started. I got a respiration, a protection, and I think there was an unbreaking. Anyways, it was enough to get me going. Simply to get out of here, to keep it safe, I kept the exit a little bit of ways away so they couldn't accidentally trigger it, and voila, they're locked up. The other thing I want to do after I get those 4 farms in the basement done, the next big project, and hopefully you can see it up here, is that. Now I've already been over and I've killed the Ender Guardians, so we've harvested. I got about 64 sponges out of here. I was hoping for a little bit more. We are going to clear a 256 block diameter of all the water around that farm because I want that guardian farm to crank. When I'm out there, I want it to go fast. Now, whether we do a standard box where we use it around the edges of the guardian temple area, or if we do it in the center, we'll create some really nice design to it to harvest it, to collect quickly. And then we'll also probably include the ability to set up a couple of squid farms, or at least one for sure while we're out there, so we're doing dual purposing. And if there's anything else that we can do, maybe we can set up an axolotl farm as well. So that's kind of the plans for my survival world. And like I said, you know, I'll upload a video when I think I've made enough progression to go through. Maybe we'll time-lapse clearing out the 256 blocks of water. Who knows? But this is just to have fun, and if this is something that you enjoy and you want to watch, hey, great. And if not, that's great too. I'm simply just going to have some fun, and hopefully some people come along and want to enjoy it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, man, when you're playing Minecraft, you got to go boober or you got to go home. We'll see you later.